And we are live. Hi everybody, welcome to another live stream. Hope you're all doing well. Yeah, thank you everybody for joining. It's come already. Sorry that I missed last night's stream. That's why we're having tonight's stream now. I slept all day yesterday and all day today, so I'm feeling just okay to be able to stream at least. Good to see you all here. I was thinking we can do just a bit of a recap on the debate and see what your guys' thoughts on everything. So if you want to, you can hop into Discord and we can discuss what your guys' thoughts are. How you doing? Is it an echo, Michael? I don't know why it's an echo. There's literally nothing coming through from my side. It's just me talking. I'm not feeling 100%, but I'm much better than I was. Thank you, PJ. Yeah, so the topic for tonight is, based on the debate, is the globe a pseudo-scientific model? And out of 9 votes, 44% say yes and 56 people say no. We obviously know who the people are saying no. That is obviously from the globe side. Yeah, so good to see you guys. I'm glad I could at least stream a bit tonight. And funny thing is, someone actually went and copyright striked my video against FTFE. Against his debate. Can you believe that? So I've been trying to get that sorted out this last 2 days as well. Yeah, and the funny thing that was copyright striked was the intro of Craig from his debate. That was the thing that was copyright striked. I mean, like, what? So yeah. Swirling, whirling sound. I don't know why it's doing that. Because I got nothing open. I've only literally just got my OBS where I'm talking. Yes, at the point, believing in a living on a ball is ridiculous. 100% agree, Freeman. 100% agree. So yeah, if anybody wants to hop into Discord, you're more than welcome. Then we can chat about the debate. Hi, Convirus. Hope you're doing well. Lumpy, good to see you. Thank you all for joining. Yeah, I just want to say thank you again to all my moderators here, and thank you for keeping, you guys are doing hard work keeping the trolls at bay. All my Patreon supporters and members and everything. If I'm not 100% here tonight, you know, I'm just still but I'm here, okay? I'm sorry about the sound. I don't know, must I maybe go off and back on? We can try it again. Maybe the sound will come better. Let's see if I put it softer maybe. Is that maybe making a difference? What up, James, Jess Palmer, good to see you. Truth Seeker, Shalom, good to see you. Hey, Sean Hawkins, good to see you. I don't know if the echo is going away now. I did put it a bit softer, if that maybe helps. It's okay now. Okay, I just put it a bit softer. So I'm thinking we can start off the video with actually a video that was shown by Rachie 550. She actually made a video of the debate last night, and I think it will be quite cool. I did ask her, can I show it? Too low. Let's do it this way. Is that better? What is going on? Some perspective and see, trying to tell my family and friends about FE. Let's see, it all depends on person to person when you want to actually talk about Flat Earth. I've realized that each person takes it differently, and they like to have different aspects to be shown to them. I mean, some people would love to, hey Fetus Fish, good to see you. Some people would like to, if you talk to them about Flat Earth, some people like the argument of talking about the curve. Others like saying, okay, space is fake. I usually talk about the people that space is fake. It's usually the people that already have some kind of inkling that NASA has lied and there's definitely no type of moon landings and stuff. But if it gets to someone that's like never really heard of anything, or when they see Flat Earth as a joke, you know, like ships going over the edge, that's when I talk to them about curve. And that's, you know, you give them the actual side of the story, then it usually helps. Okay, glad the volume's working better now. Hope it's not echoing there. Let's move on to watching Rachie's video. I think that's gonna be a good starter. Let's do this.
Simply, my point is, if you're saying and you're using maths like you
trying to use to observe Venus or whatever, make a prediction, it's based on a mathematical model.
A reification fallacy is when you treat a model or a mathematical construct as real.
Okay, let me put it this way. You believe gravity can hold gas down, correct?
I don't have a belief. I know that gravity exists.
But you have a mathematical model that says it holds it down, correct?
There's a mathematical model that describes it, yes.
A reification fallacy is when you treat a model or a mathematical construct as real.
Okay, so you just put all your belief in a mathematical model. That if you're using, let's say, the gravitational equations to make a prediction in space or whatever. How are you validating this? Because you built your premise
on an experiment.
You built your premise on a language that goes against reality, as I've just proven with this bag.
It doesn't
So,
go against reality.
how do you know? How do you know? Can I finish? How do you know?
Design an experiment.
How do you know? How do you know what you are
Right,
trying to
it's very low sound.
Very low sound. I don't know what's going on
Very-
tonight. Hi, PJ.
We can't hear it at all.
Nothing. It's on,
We can hear you, but we can hardly hear the video.
I don't know what's wrong with the technical issues tonight. Sorry, guys. It's like,
It's all right.
let's,
It's all right. Right, I'm heading back over to YouTube.
okay, let's see what
Bless.
it's now. Thanks, man. Simply, my point is, if you're saying and you're using maths like you trying to use to observe Venus or whatever, make a prediction, it's based on a mathematical model.
A reification fallacy is when you treat a model or a mathematical construct as real.
Sorry, guys, I don't know what's going on tonight. It's like everything's just going wrong with it. Probably even the internet's slow all of a sudden today. It's probably all the internet, all the power going off and on. It's just messing everything up. Okay, let me put it this way. You believe gravity can hold gas down, correct?
I don't have a belief. I know that gravity exists.
But you have a mathematical model that says it holds it down, correct?
There's a mathematical model that describes it, yes.
A reification fallacy is when you treat a model or a mathematical construct as real.
Okay, so you've just put all your belief in a mathematical model. That if you're using, let's say, the gravitational equations to make a prediction in space or whatever. How are you valid? Sorry, guys, I don't know what's wrong with the sound tonight. Validating this because you built your premise. What a disaster of a stream tonight. It's like, I don't know if my computer and everything's probably also got sick from the debate. I'm not sure what's going on. It's like everything's just not wanting to work.
On an experiment.
You've built your premise on a language that goes against reality, as I've just proven with this bag.
It doesn't go against reality.
How do you know? How do you know? Can I finish? How do you know?
Design an experiment.
How do you know? How do you know what you are trying to validate is even reality? Because it was based on a what?
That's the entire point of trying to validate. That's the entire point of doing an experiment. I never said that I could perform a hypothesis with maths, because I said that maths
a language.
isn't science, and therefore you can't make an observation.
I'm glad we agree maths isn't science. I agree with you maths is not science.
Maths is just a language.
You're kind of contradicting yourself all the time. But you understand what my point I'm getting? That if you're using, let's say, the gravitational equations to make a prediction in space or whatever, how are you validating this? Because you built your premise
on an experiment.
You've built your premise on a language that goes against reality, as I've just proven with this
I mean,
bag.
it doesn't go against reality.
How do you know? How do you know? Can I finish?
Simple,
How do
would
you know?
design an
Yeah, it's just issues all the time. Yeah, Tony, now I know how it feels to be in Brenda's shoes. 100% agree. Yeah, True Seeker. It's definitely takes time to learn what the other person is all about and then talk to them about that. Anyway, I don't think this one's really working too well, so I don't know what's wrong with the internet. I'm just going to set this back down. But we get the gist of it. I'll put the link in the chat for you guys. You guys can go watch it. Definitely well worth it. Okay, again, apologies about all the technical issues. Don't know what's going on with it. Really do apologize. Okay, let's see. Is there anybody that wants to come into Discord and have a chat about what was there? I was thinking I might quickly talk about the correlation bit. I just want to quickly find that thing I had set. But causation. I love how they keep on telling me, oh, how much years have you studied science? Like, you need to have studied science to actually understand the scientific method. I mean, it's the same as I tell them, okay, I can build an engine from scratch. Am I a qualified engineer? No. If you have the knowledge of it, why do you need to be qualified? A qualification is just a piece of paper. And I think everybody will agree with that. Okay, let's see. Based on the debate, is the globe a pseudo-scientific model? For out of 39 votes, yes 49% and no 51%. So we're getting there. We're getting halfway to the people to understand that yes, the globe is definitely a pseudo-scientific model. The reason I say this is, remember with Craig yesterday, where he was literally, not just the day before with the debate, where he's literally saying his hypothesis is looking up in the sky and waiting and begging the question of an orbit, and because he sees that irregular orbit, therefore it is proof. Well, validation. All this was based on mathematical mathematical equations, and later on you heard him say if it's based on mathematical equation, it's just reification. So he was just contradicting his own standards. With the correlation, I'm looking for the one I had. There we go, here's one from towardsdatascience.com. Let's see if it's showing. Very simple. This is what I was trying to convey with the debate. Obviously I didn't get out really what I was trying to do, because when you get on the spot and stuff, sometimes you just don't really get everything. But this is what I was trying to say. Why I said correlation is not causation. Science is not correlation. Science is causation. The reason for this is because it's a cause and effect relationship. It's not the correlation based relationship. That's why when Fight the Flat Earth was saying, I'm going to wait and see if it happens, and I see that, therefore it's that, he's just begged the question. He's making a correlation based observation. This goes against science, because science is causation. Why the confusion of these concepts has profound implications, from the healthcare to business management. Introduction. In correlation data, a pair of variables are related in that one thing is likely to change when the other does. That kind of sounds familiar, Craig. You know, like if I look in the sky and I see at a certain time a weird orbit, therefore it proves my hypothesis. That's correlation. This relationship might lead us to assume that a change to one thing causes the change in the other. Again, you're assuming now it causes that change because it's correlative based. It doesn't mean it is causing it. It's your opinion, and therefore it's pseudo-scientific. Remember, the scientific method works only off of empiricism. It has nothing to do with your religious beliefs or opinions whatsoever. So when you push in correlation, you're not using science, you're doing pseudoscience. This article clarifies that the kind of faulty thinking by explaining correlation, causation, and a bias that often lumps the two together. Very, very true. The human brain simplifies incoming information, so it's coming in. So we make sense of it. Our brains often do that by making assumptions about things based on slight relationships or bias. Sounds kind of familiar, don't you think? But that thinking process isn't foolproof. An example is when we mistake correlation for causation. I'm just going to leave this quickly shown there. I just want to quickly get my water. Yeah, sorry, I have to keep my electrolytes going and stuff. Oh, it's good to see you, Cosmic Surfer. Thank you for coming, YouTube. You guys are all great. Hey, Triple X. Okay, so bias can make us conclude that one thing must cause another if both change in the same way at the same time. This sounds very familiar, don't you guys think? Because FTFE had a bias based on his already assumed gravitational force that's not a force in space, and an orbit, which he could also not give me a hypothesis for proving an orbit, he already had a bias. His bias said that if we can observe this happening in the sky, therefore the correlation between the movements when I wait means it has caused it. This is not science, this is correlation based on bias, so it's just begged the question. Okay, this article, misconception correlation equals. Okay, about correlation and causation. Correlation is a relationship or connection between two variables where whenever one changes, the other is likely to also change. But a change in one variable doesn't cause the other to change. I'm going to read that again, just for you guys. Correlation is a relationship or connection between two variables where whenever one changes, the other is more likely also to change. But a change is one variable doesn't cause the other to change. AKA when I was explaining with the sun, I know I see the sun rise every day. When I look through this window, I know the sun's going to rise. So tomorrow I come, the sun's rising because I looked through the window. That's correlation based. Did it happen because I looked through the window? No, it didn't actually cause it, but it validated what I was saying, because to me the sun came up because I looked through the window. Same with him looking in the sky. I make a mathematical deduction that based on an orbit that's going to be weird, if I wait, which is someone manipulating the IV, I would have that effect. Therefore it has caused my effect. No, Craig. Correlation is not causation. Is science correlation based or causation? Because I distinctly heard you say science is correlative, but we'll still get there. Okay. That's correlation, but it's not causation. Your growth from a child to an adult is an example. When your height increased, your mass increased too. Getting taller didn't make you also get wider. Instead, maturing to adulthood caused both variables to increase. That's causation. Yeah, obviously. More mass, aka, yeah. So it's simple. Okay, we don't have to go causation in business because we're not talking about business here. Cognitive bias. This is a big one. There are many forms of cognitive bias or irrational thinking patterns that often lead to faulty conclusions and economic decisions. These types of cognitive bias are some reasons why people assume false causations in business and marketing. Okay, obviously that's also with that, but it's just getting the underlines if you understand what confirmation bias does. Confirmation bias, people want to be right. Understand that, Craig? People want to be right, even when shown wrong. Hence the debate. We could see that hundreds of times when I was trying to explain to you it's pseudoscientific. They often can't admit or accept that they're wrong about something, even if that attitude caused eventual harm and loss. Okay. Illusion of course, we don't, obviously it's marketing experimentation. To know that something is valuable takes experimentation. Experimentation helps you understand if you're making the right choices, but it has a cost. If you hold a work group back by not giving in the future, this is all just business. We don't really have to get this. Okay. Experimental value variables. A scientifically validated valid experiment needs to have 3 types of variables: controlled, independent, and dependent. This is the 3 constituent parts of a scientific hypothesis. First off, a control variable is kept constant. Remember when you told me, Craig, that you can just take something at the same latitude and rise it, and the constant changes, so therefore it cannot be the control variable. That's what I was trying to explain. So the other variables that change in relationship to each other can be measured in static environment. This is also why your T example is also not held at a controlled constant. It cannot be controlled. An experiment's independent variable is the only one that can be changed. Let's get it? An experiment independent variable is the only one that can change. So you can't have more than one. For your hypothesis, you have an independent variable, finish and cloud. That is the cause for the effect observed. So when you make all your silly accusation, pseudoscientific so-called hypotheses, you were having more than one independent variable. If you haven't realized that, that's what I was trying to explain to you. So therefore it's not science. The dependent variables are the result that are observed when changes are made to the independent variable. When changes are made, that means physical change, physical manipulation. I hope I'm getting this through to you guys. Is this making sense to you guys so far? Before we go on, is this making sense to everybody? Let's look what the poll is saying so long. Based on the debate, is the globe pseudo-scientific model? 45% votes have said yes, 56%, and no, 44%. Yeah. Based on what I'm showing here and what FTFE presented, all he was presenting was pseudoscience. And if that's all they got to present the globe, then yes, the globe is pseudo-scientific. His own words were, maths is not science, yet the whole globe is based on maths. Okay, let's carry on. Any uncontrolled variables or mediator variables can cloud an experiment's accuracy. Ouch. Yes, Justin, it does mean direct manipulation. Please, can you go and show me manipulation without actually manipulating it? Is it possible to manipulate something without manipulating it? I think not, because you physically need to alter it. You need to manipulate it. Okay. You physically have to change. You see that word? Change. And to change, you literally have to do something. Okay. So the difference is an uncontrolled variable can also impact the relationship between independent and dependent variables. Uncontrolled variables add the influence of unrelated factors to an experiment result. Correlations might be assumed, and a hypothesis might be formed where none exists. Give me 2 seconds quickly. Okay. Justin Franks, do you want to come into Discord and have a discussion about how you can manipulate independent variable without actually manipulating it? I would love to hear your thoughts, because you're just saying it has been explained, which it definitely hasn't. Doesn't mean anything. It's the same as saying I can manipulate a non-physical force. Well, then again, your globe is based on non-physicality. Your gravity, which is a force that's not a force, can cause an acceleration that requires a force to have the acceleration, but it doesn't have a force to do so. So yeah, you guys go against your actual physics, and yet you want to tell us we don't know what's going on. Yeah. Okay. I mustn't get too excited because it's really working up with me a bit. Okay, so uncontrolled variables add the influence of unrelated factors to an experiment result. Correlations might be assumed, and an hypothesis might be formed where none exist. Accurate analysis becomes difficult or impossible. Examples of conclusions drawn from uncontrolled variables are shown in the children's music lessons and mobile phone cancer examples to follow. Okay, so that just makes that, don't really need to go there, but I'm getting the point across. Hey Nathan, good to see you. I'm just trying to explain to the guys that science is causation and not correlation, and the globe is pseudoscientific. Obviously I've got some guy, Justin whatever, telling me that you can manipulate IV without actually manipulating it, so I'm waiting for him to come into, be brave enough to come into Discord and actually see, but no, so far he's not coming in. Okay, 4 reasons why correlation does not imply causation. That's going to be quite interesting. Hey Jeff, good to see you, thank you for coming in. Guys, please just don't yes, it's the usual. You can give us all you want. You guys don't know what you're talking about, blah blah blah, but when you actually are challenged to come in, then you got no mic, or you can't talk where you are. Yeah, okay, then type it in, Justin, type us in. How do you manipulate something without manipulating it? Please do tell us that. Okay, 4 reasons why correlation does not imply causation. The phrase correlation does not imply causation has become a cliche of sorts. This seems to be the phrase that impassions the readers type into the comment section where they read articles claiming incredulous links between 2 variables. What does correlation does not imply causation mean? When should we use this phrase? How can we tell the difference between correlation and causation? What are the reasons why correlation does not equal causation? These are the questions we tackle in this article. Okay. You have to vary the variable to assume the cause effect. Exactly, Nathan. You physically have to change, you have to manipulate it. You have to change the IV to get the effect. These guys aren't understanding that. They literally think you can wait and it's going to do something. We say that X and Y are correlated when they have a tendency to change and move together, either in a positive or negative direction. In the diagrams below, X and Y have a positive correlation, that's on the left, and the negative correlation in the middle, and no correlation in the right. We say that X causes Y when you change in the X leads to change in Y. Another way of saying this is that the change in Y would not have happened without the preceding of X. Okay. The maxim, correct correlation, does not imply causation. Serves as a useful reminder of how we think about the relationship between 2 variables, X and Y. If X and Y seem to be linked, it's possible but not certain that X caused Y. It's also possible that Y caused X, or that some third variable, Z, caused both X and Y. What are you guys saying? Yes, this is really basic stuff, Justin, and you still haven't gone to change. A change in the amount of time allowed to process the... No. Justin, again, I told you. Time is not an independent variable. I explained this to Craig on the debate. Let's take his tea, for example. I throw 3 cups, or he's in 5 cups of water. No, throwing the water in. They've already changed. They're not controlled because it's already... The energies, heat energy is already dissipating. Now you're putting the tea bags in. One tea bag has a little bit more of the leaves in the bag than the others. That's already another you cannot control. Now, how do you know which one's going to have more milk? How do you know one's got more water? There's too much to go. Or if you threw the bag in and then the water, it already started mixing it. I can mix it and it changes the variable of that time. I can squeeze it, it changes the variable of that time. It's not an independent variable. Time can only be a control variable because you can only have a duration of time. Time is a concept, it's not a physical thing. You cannot manipulate time. I cannot go back in time because if I could manipulate, I could actually go and do it again. I cannot. If 1890 passed, it passed. I cannot go back to 1890. Do you get it? You can only have a duration of time. And a duration of time is only a controlled variable because you are giving a certain duration the ability to keep the control. He has a flux capacitor. He can every time. Yeah, exactly. Time is just a concept. I want to see someone actually physically manipulate time, please. Okay, so let's go on. However, this phrase can sometimes be knee-jerk reaction when one hears dubious causal links between two variables. Often this phrase is uttered with a tone of disdain, seeming to imply that correlations are inferior to causal links. This is unfortunate because correlations can be interesting even if they don't present causal relationships. Correlations can tell us interesting things that can help understand possible causal links, but we need to be careful and nuanced when understanding and interpreting such correlations. But then again, science is what? Causation, not correlation. The globe is based on correlations, not causations. Hence why gravity keeps changing and why you guys have different types of things coming like dark matter and all your nonsense, because it was correlative in the first instance. It has never been science. It's pseudo-scientific. Okay, let's go look at more. Check, even mathematics, the Guardian. Correlation is not causation. Wow. That is like, just that alone debunks the whole globe, guys. Do you understand it? What's from Justin saying? In actual experiments, time is commonly used as the independent variable. All these experiments that scientists are actually performing, but Justin, what I'm saying is, if you're using time as your independent variable, you are doing pseudoscience. Because it cannot be an independent variable, and everybody that says it can be is pseudoscientific, pseudoscientists. Hence why when he brought up the Harvard link, the actual one I wanted to use to show it pseudoscience, which was quite a weird thing to see, he couldn't accept when I was telling him why it's pseudoscientific. So let's see if time is going to do anything to my cup, guys. I have a quarter of water in this glass. I'm saying time is causing this water to become room temperature. So my IV is time, dV, water becoming room temperature. Okay, now we waited. Did the time cause it to become room temperature, or was it thermodynamics? Was my, not the hypothesis, correlation based, or was it causation? Let me hint to you, it was not a hypothesis to begin with, because time cannot be an independent variable. Second of all, it was correlation based, aka pseudoscientific, not science. Hence why Craig saying, I look in the sky, I see a weird orbit. At that time, my IV is waiting, I see weird orbit, therefore gravity. Correlation, pseudoscientific. Craig, you debunked yourself, you debunked your whole globe. Yes, they are an idiot, 100%, Nathan. 100% agree. Entropy, exactly, entropy, Nathan. Thermodynamics. It's not. Did time cause the score in the game? Exactly, it cannot cause the time. Time can do nothing. It's a concept. It's literally a line created by a man, so you can have a reference of point A and point B. It's a duration between that line. That is why we have what we call birthdays, because it's a reference to a year. A reference. You get it? You cannot physically go and alter. It's the same as saying time is causing me to get older. Time is not causing you to get older. Entropy is causing you to get older. Time is just the reference of you getting older. This is like really simple. Justin Franks, are the countless citations saying that time can be an IV are just wrong? Yes, Justin, I'm 100% telling you. Every single citation that tells you time can be an independent variable is pseudoscientific. It's not science. You can even send this to those people and they can contact me and I'll explain it to them as well. Because the people that say time is an independent variable are pseudoscientists. Those are the same people that look into the sky and make biased correlative decisions because they have a belief. It's not science. This live stream is showing that to you. Okay, let's go on. Correlation is not causation. Repeat after me. Correlation is... repeat after me. Correlation is not causation. Correlation is not causation. Correlation is not causation. Actually, I've got an idea. Do you guys want to take a vote? Type 1 in chat if you want me to do a live stream where I say correlation is not causation 1,000 times, or type 2 where we should just ignore it. While you guys get those numbers in, we'll carry on reading. Correlation is not causation. Correlation is not causation. Correlation is not causation. Oh, I love how... Okay, I'll leave that. I love how they have to actually clarify. I mean, look how they have to tell you in your face. Let's see how much time they said it just in the beginning. Correlation is not causation. Repeat after me. Correlation is not causation. 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 7 times, and that's literally just got to the first sentence of the article, guys. So I think this kind of makes it very clear that it's not causation. Anyway, at times during my statistics studies, I felt like Jack Nicholson in the film The Shining, in which we witness his descent into madness as he types the same sentence over and over again. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Correlation is not causation. It's a statistic mantra. It is drilled military school style into every budding statistician, but what does it actually mean? Well, correlation is a measure of how closely related two things are. Where do we measure how close two things are in science? We don't. We actually have cause for an effect in science. Okay, what does this actually mean? Okay, here we go. Think of it's a number describing the relative change in one thing when there is a change in another. Hence, the same as I see already based on my bias, there's an orbit, which I first could not scientifically validate, and gravity, which I could not first scientifically validate, and we're on a spinning sphere, which I could not scientifically validate, with a radius that I cannot validate. Too much irrelevant validations. Anyway, I'm looking to the sky. I see two, what I call planets in space that violate the natural law of, the second law of natural second law of thermodynamics. Excuse me. Hi. Which violates the second law of natural thermodynamics and natural law. Sorry, I'm all over the place tonight. But anyway, by doing this, I'm looking at the sky. I'm saying this one planet is going by another planet orbiting. Now, when it orbits there, if I wait till this time, there should be an anomaly. It should change. I wait, I see that happening. Did I actually manipulate something, or did I just have correlative-based bias on a belief system that I've had no other validation in the first place? Very, very simple. Let's quickly go back to the poll, see what the poll is saying. 76 votes. Based on the debate, is the globe a pseudo-scientific model? Yes, 46%, and no, 54%. Oh, sorry, I'm not feeling too great still, but I'm trying. Okay. Correlation is not causation. Is a statistic. Okay, we read that already, I think. Ooh. Okay, correlations between two things can be caused by a third factor, and that affects them both. This is why when you say, something like with t, time causes the t to get the tea to get stronger because I'm waiting a time. It's correlation because it's not the time that causes it. It has many other causes. Hence, heat energy, entropy, stirring it. It can be the container with the pressure, the way the water was poured in. There's so much different causes for it. But because you want to give time, a non-physical conceptual thing, you've made it correlative. So in other words, you've thrown away your whole hypothesis because it's not scientific. I don't know how much more clear I can make this to you guys. Oh. Do you guys think I should go on with correlation? Because I think this is quite dead now. It's been kind of hammered into them. It's science is not correlation. If the length of time and leaves touch the water isn't the cause, it would matter how long they stay in. Let me read it again. If the length of time the leaves touch the water isn't the cause, it wouldn't matter how long it's. That's not even a hypothesis, Justin. Can you make a coherent hypothesis so we can actually make something out of it? And again, no, time cannot be an independent variable. Okay. So, are there any people that actually want to come in and talk in Discord a bit? I do know the power is going off at 11 o'clock, but we should be done by then. Yes, Nathan, 100% agree. You require FE to do anything on the globe, actually. It's not making a hypothesis, just explaining time cannot be an... What? Justin Franks. I'm not making a hypothesis. Just explaining that time cannot be an IV is wrong. If you want to explain IV to be time to be an IV, you actually simply have to form a hypothesis that's not correlative, that's causative. That would, prove or validate your argument. But you're failing miserably on that part. Sorry to tell you. Jolly man, they prove it, then deny it with ridiculous rationalizing with strange looks in their eyes. Exactly. So yeah, I think that's kind of broke down the whole debate. The whole thing was correlative and not causation. What else did I want to show? I think that kind of breaks down everything of the debate. Did you want to give me a good eye contact? Offer is still open. Ooh. Yes, Lumpy Gas. We have SolidWorks and AutoCAD proving straight lines are needed to measure angles. I have yet to see bent angle lines. I mean, what is an angle? Two straight lines meeting at a vertex. Whoopsie. Charlie Mer, well, it's cutting edge stuff. The entire scientific community trembles. First of all, Charlie, whilst there's no such thing as a scientific community, because that means it's how can I put this, consensus based, which is pseudoscientific. Your whole globe is pseudoscientific. It's run by a pseudoscientific worldview. Hence why I'm telling you straight, the globe and everything you guys hold so dear as the scientific community is not scientific. Go and read through a lot of the peer-reviewed papers that are supposedly scientific. It's just pseudoscience. I'm kind of telling you that to your face. I'm sorry if it hurts you, but your religion is false. And I'm not afraid to tell you that. It's literally just pseudoscientific. Hey Brian Lee, good to see you. Should we go and maybe get another citation of the so-called science? Let's go, yeah, let's do the science proof things. Well, let's just see. Mark Wilowski, third and final time. Hypothesis. The length of time the bag is left in the cup determines how strong the tea is. No, it does not, Mark. The length of time in the cup is correlative. It's not causative. Causative is scientific. Correlative is pseudoscientific. Mark. Can I make it clearer? Do I have to try and explain it even more dumbed down to you? Cup of tea, water, throwing hot water. What is the cause for tea getting stronger? There's energy transference, there's pressure, there's so much things going into it. But what are you saying it is? Time causes tea to get stronger. No, time does not cause tea. What if I put cold water in there? Would it have the same? Okay, 1 cup cold water, 1 cup hot water. Both the same amount of water, both tea bags. Which one is going? She's telling me if I leave them the same time, they're going to have the same strength at the same time. I made tea today for my 2 children, and well, I put the tea bags in and the tea, sugar and everything, and I threw the water. And I just looked at it, and I could, with my own eyes, they're exactly the same time sitting there. One is stronger than the other. Was time the independent variable there? Very, very odd. The transfer of energy, pressure, etc. all require time to happen. Time, is just the arrow of time. It's used to explain. It's a language. It doesn't physically do anything, Jack. I don't know how much more plain I can make this to you. Time doesn't do anything. It's there to explain. It's descriptive based. That's what time is. It's descriptive. it's as real as mathematics. And yes, Craig actually admitted mathematics is not scientific. Yet we can pull up papers that saying maths is science. Are those papers correct then? Krajik, whoever voted no, stop lying to yourself. I 100% agree with you, Krajik. But you know who the trolls in here are. They will definitely vote no. So, in the different temp experiment, time was not the IV. That doesn't mean that time can never be the IV. Justin, I've explained it to you tons of times now why time cannot be the IV. It's so simple. It's not an IV. It can be debunked over and over, and it can be invalidated every time you make a cup of tea. Every single time you make a cup of tea, it gets invalidated. Therefore, it was not validated in the first instance. It was correlative. It was not causation. I think we can stop with that argument now because the circle jerk is getting old. Ooh, okay. EDU, not rap. When woke becomes indistinguishable from a perpetual false awakening. Kind of like scat porn, if simple should not be, yet here it is. Really weird comment, but okay. Let's see. Maybe I should pick up another citation somewhere about science doesn't prove. Let's see, is it showing? Okay. Let's go to the first EDU citation. Understanding science, how science really works. Maybe might need to get this a bit bigger. Okay. Scientists' stereotypes. Yes, even scientists pigeonhole. Science is a solitary pursuit. Science is done by old white men. Roadblocks to learning science. Science is boring. Science isn't important in life. I am not good at science. Okay, that's already got nothing to do with science, but let's go on. Misinterpretations of science process. This is what we want to see. Okay. Science is a collection of facts. Let's quickly see what facts mean. Facts. Definition. Definition of facts. A thing that is known or proved to be true. Information used as evidence or as part report news article. Evidence is what? Also proved. So it's fact, known as fact. It's proved to be true. Okay, let's go on. So this one already contradicts itself, because when we say science doesn't prove things, but it's proved to be true. Okay. The truth. A lot we learn that the world science comes from textbooks, which means it's sometimes easy to fall into the line of thinking. That's all that's there, facts on a page. That's all that's there, facts on a page. So again, they're saying facts on a page, which means to prove. It's true that science can be learned in textbooks, but all at the same time, it's an ongoing, dynamic process. So in other words, then you are contradicting yourself and saying, if it's fact, proven, you're saying it can still change. Then it's not a fact, then it's not proven, contradicting yourself. Science is complete. The truth. Most science courses start with teaching what we knew in the 19th and 20th centuries. This leads some to believe that science is finished. We've made all the important discoveries, so what else is there? This is completely untrue. I agree, it is completely untrue. Nobody makes those claims, only pseudoscientists. The purpose of scientific research is inherently new, to explore new ideas, developing new questions, and rehashing old hypotheses with new research. Science will never really be complete. Remember, rehashing old hypotheses. So in other words, just creating another hypothesis. Does it invalidate the previous hypothesis? No, because it was validated. That means it was fact. It was proven. You're just creating a new hypothesis based on the information, the data, because you're making a new prediction. Okay. There is a single scientific method that all follow. I like this. A single scientific method that all scientists follow. Repeat after me. Single scientific method. Plural. Singular, not plural. Yeah, I think it is. So remember, I do think in Afrikaans. Plural, just because you get such pedantic people. I mean, plural. The word grammar form denoting more than one. Yes, singular. Okay, so it's not plural. Okay, there is a single scientific method that all scientists follow. The truth. The scientific method is taught in virtually all science courses, is a very, very simplified version of what actually happens in scientific research. In reality, science is unpredictable, complex, and involves a lot of people all working on different things in different orders all at once. Now that is a lie. That is an outright lie. I'm sorry. In reality, science is unpredictable. No, it's not. Science is not unpredictable. You observe a natural phenomena, you write a hypothesis, which is this ivy causes this observation. You have your null. You have your predictions based on that, and then you do experiment. Once you have experiment, it is either validated, aka proven it as fact, your ivy has caused it, or it has not, and thus proved the null. What is so unpredictable about that? It's one or the other. What's so complex about that? I have no idea. It's A or B. It's plain, black and white. It involves a lot of people all working on different things. No, that is also not true, because you don't need anybody to write a hypothesis. It's you make a hypothesis, you can experiment it. Once it is validated, you're sending your data for someone else to go and repeat the experiment. That's what science is. Okay, so that's kind of lie. See what we're getting? This is kind of weird. This is not seen as pseudoscience, and this is from a educational paper, FTFE. The process of science is purely analytic and does not involve creativity. The truth. It's possible that this is myth stems from the linearity of scientific method. Actually, science is not a series of steps, but rather a creative thinking process used to develop new or alternative hypotheses or seeing old data in a new light. Creativity is not limited to an artist or musician. Scientists need. What has musicians and artists got to do with science? There's kind of a few things here that's not really true. I do agree that it's got some creativity to create a hypothesis, but when it comes to thinking processes used to develop new alternative. Hallo, ekskuus ek is besig hierso. Kamer toe asseblief. Okay, kamer toe asseblief. Kamer toe asseblief. Okay. So that's kind of, yeah. Experiments are a necessary part of the scientific process. No shit, Sherlock. Without an experiment, you cannot validate your hypothesis. Without an experiment, the study is not rigorous or scientific. This is another example of how scientific method has been used to stereotype scientific research. If there is not a linear arrangement of steps, it must not be true science, right? In reality, there are many ways to test any scientific idea, and experimentation is just one of those ways. How do you, I don't understand. If you write a hypothesis and you say this causes this to happen, you've worked out how you're going to you predicted now what's going to happen, you're having your experiment done. You have that. This effect, this cause changes the effect. Cause that effect. That's what it is. What is there with all this adding extra experimentations? And that's not true science. That's pseudoscience. Sorry, guys. Okay. Scientific ideas are absolute and unchanging. The truth. The misconception harkens back to the textbook's idea that science textbooks often go fairly unchanged after year, and ideas of those texts must not be changing either. Even established, well-supported ideas are subject to minor changes based on new evidence. Some research can't even be put into textbooks because it is so new. What? What has that got to do? That's a bit of a bias, don't you think? Some research can't even be put into textbooks because it's so new. That goes against what science is it not? Because you have a bias, you're keeping information, you're keeping data from the public. So cutting edge and these ideas are always changing and evolving as scientists come up with the ways to explain these new phenomena. Again, if you validated something like heat causes water to boil, that hypothesis will always stay true because it was a fact, it was validated, it was proven. No matter what you say, what other hypothesis you make in future, that hypothesis is true, it always holds true. What happens if you add heat to water? It will boil because that's what you observe time and time again. It has gone through experimentation over and over again. It will never change, no matter if you find another cause for something else. It just like when you say, okay, I can cause water to boil when changing pressures. That does not now take away that the one cause was heat causing water to boil. You just created a new hypothesis, which you now validated with pressure differentials. Just excuse me 2 minutes, please. Justin Franks, no, it's not because textbooks take time to make, edit, print. I actually worked for a marketing company and stuff. Publications take time because they try to make sure the information is correct. These guys simply say for it's too new. There's a big difference. Okay, let's carry on. But yeah, we can already see how pseudoscientific this is. Okay, let's go to science proves ideas. The truth. The concept of proof in the world of science is not actually very scientific. Weird, you used fact before. What does fact mean? Science is based on the idea that any idea or hypothesis could be put to the question tomorrow. No. If you have a hypothesis and it has been validated, aka it's gone through the invalidation process so you can try and disprove it, and it's been factually proven, it's gone now through to wherever, to the peer reviewers, so they can also do the experiment to try and validate. If it's been validated, it's been validated. Case closed. There's no such thing as it can be questioned tomorrow because it's already been proven. It's been validated. Heat causes water to boil. You can do the experiment over and over. It's repeatable. just because you come tomorrow and say, hang on, I can boil water with different pressure gradients, doesn't now invalidate that heat causes water, because the heat will still cause the water to boil. You just found another cause for the same effect. Both hypotheses now valid, because your cause for the effect of your hypothesis is what you're testing. You're not testing another cause for the effect. You're testing your cause for the effect, your presumed cause. So when you presume heat causes water to boil, that is your hypothesis. If you want now to come and create another hypothesis, pressure causes water to boil, that is another hypothesis. That doesn't change the heat, doesn't cause it, because it will still, the heat still changes it. And anyway, heat is still linked to pressure. Pressure is linked to heat. So, yeah. Okay. So we can clearly see this is very pseudoscientific, and they didn't really actually bring anything other than pseudoscience. And this is from an education. Let's go back to the poll. Out of 91 votes, based on the debate, is the globe a pseudoscientific model? Yes, 49%. No, 51%. Sorry, I'm kind of getting out of breath here. Still kind of nauseous and everything. If I do run off, you guys know why. Back in the day, infected wounds were because of the evil spirits in the blood. Hence bloodletting. What? Letting. We now know that not evil spirits causing infection. Does the original hypothesis still stand? Master Agario, that was not science. That was correlation and based on beliefs. That's why when they say, oh, they have to drill a hole in someone's head to take to get away with a migraine, that was not scientific. It was correlative. It was, obviously if you drill too deep, the guy's going to die, so he won't have a headache anymore. So there, you cured him. But that's not science. Sorry to tell you that, Master Gorio. That's quite a false equivalence. What is cherry picking, Sean Hawkins? What did we cherry pick here? Okay, anyway. Let's see. Is science based on evidence? This should be quite interesting. Science knowledge is based on empirical evidence. Science disciplines share common rules of evidence used to evaluate explanations about natural systems. Science includes the process of coordinating patterns and evidence with the current theory. So, empirical evidence. What does empirical evidence mean? Let's see. Empirical evidence is the proposition. For a proposition is evidence what supports or counters the proposition that is constituted by access sense of meaning. Empirical evidence is information acquired by observation or experimentation. So what does that mean already? You've already got your information because you've tested it and it either caused it or did not cause it, so it was evidence for the cause. The effect for the cause. Scientists record and analyze this data. The process is a central part of the scientific method, leading to proving or disproving your hypothesis. Life Science said, oh yeah, but I forgot. Craig doesn't like this because it says proving. He wants an edu site. Okay. Empirical definition. Let's see. Empirical evidence is the information obtained through observation and documentation of certain behavior and patterns through the experiment. Empirical evidence is a quintessential part of the scientific method of research that is applicable in many disciplines. A scientific method, the pieces of empirical evidence are used to validate or disprove a stated hypothesis. What does validate mean? We'll get back to this now, because it seems people don't understand what the words are that they're actually reading. Check or prove the validity of the accuracy. Similar. Prove. Give proof. Show to be true. Okay. Very simple. Okay. So, Validate or disprove the statement of hypothesis. That's why I said if you say disprove, what is the antithesis of disprove? It's to validate, which is prove. That's what validate means. It means fact, prove. Okay. Statement or claim in the scientific world. A hypothesis can be accepted by the community only if sufficient empirical evidence that supports the hypothesis is provided. Breaking down the evidence. Empirical evidence is primarily obtained through observation or experimentation. So in other words, you only get this evidence if you've actually gone and done an experiment to validate or disprove their hypothesis. Then the outcome is the evidence. So you've either proven or disproven. When you've proven the hypothesis, you've disproven the null hypothesis. When you've disproven your hypothesis, you've proven the null hypothesis. You've proven one or the other. Get it? Very simple. Sorry, just give me 2 seconds to get my breath back. Okay. The process of finding empirical evidence is called empirical research. The main concern with empirical research is in the collection of unbiased evidence. Understand that? Unbiased evidence. So it doesn't give it 2 hoots of what your religious belief is or what your opinion is of that hypothesis. If I say chickens can fly because they have feathers, if I can prove it somehow, it doesn't care what you think. I mean, it's got nothing to do with your feelings towards it or mine. It's simply I'm trying to get a cause for the effect. So yeah, researchers must carefully design the research while minimizing exposure to potential errors. In the scientific world, it is common that several scientists or researchers gather evidence simultaneously by replicating the same study. Hence, I create a hypothesis, I have done my research, I've done my predictions, everything. I've sent the data for analyzation to the fellow congregation, which would be peer review. They go and they do the same. They read the hypothesis. Okay, this is the hypothesis. Let's do experimentation on this hypothesis. We've done experimentation. It holds true to the hypothesis. He said it was validated. I got to validate. Yanni, did you validate? Yeah. How about you, Sally? Yeah. And it builds up, and they have now validated the hypothesis scientifically because it's repeatable. No matter how much times they do it, it's always going to be valid because it's a fact. It stays validated. Not because they have a belief now, oh, I know water can also boil if I change the pressure, therefore this... No, that's a bias. Putting bias into it. That's not scientific. It's got nothing to care if you think that the sun shines because it's orange or whatever. It's got nothing to do with it. Simply, you have an hypothesis in black and white. You stick to the hypothesis, you do the experiment to it. If it validates it, it's proven, finish and cloud. Hey John Watson, good to see you. Thanks for coming. Moomin Rider, glad you could make it. I hope you guys are all keeping up with me. I see it's a straight 50-50% after 98 votes. Based on the debate, is the globe pseudoscientific model? Yes 50%, no 50%. 100% agree with you guys. It's definitely pseudoscience as I've been pointing out. Ooh, okay, so let's see. 2 primary types of empirical evidence are qualitative evidence and quantitative evidence. This seems kind of sketchy, but let's go. Qualitative evidence is the type of data that describes non-measurable information. Qualitative data is used in various disciplines, notably in social sciences, which is not scientific. Social sciences are not scientific. Please tell me how you're going to manipulate an IV in social sciences. You cannot. Therefore, it's not scientific. It's pseudoscientific. Remember what I tell you, we can go through so much citations, and we're always going to pull out some kind of pseudoscientific somewhere. As well as in the market research and finance. Now, what does market research and finance do with science? Sweet bugger all. In such fields, this research generally investigates human behavior and its patterns. Get it? Human behavior and its patterns is not science. It's correlative. not causative. The non-measurable nature of quantitative data as well as the subjective analysis makes it prone to potential biases. Quantitative evidence refers to numerical data that can be further analyzed using mathematical or statistical methods. We all know mathematics is not scientific, even Craig said so. FTFE even quotes saying yes, maths is not scientific. Yet, all your science of the globe relies on mathematical equations. That's where you build your experiments on. If you're making an experiment so-called in the sky, you're making a mathematical equation, and that is your hypothesis. That's why you have equations in the first instance. Quantitative data is used in almost every discipline of science. Then it's not science, sorry to tell you, because science is not mathematical, it's not statistical. Unlike quantitative data, the evidence obtained using quantitative data is generally considered to be unbiased, as the validity of the data can be easily verified using mathematical statistics, and I explained this again on the debate why it's false. Let's imagine this was that ice pack, now it's a cup. Let's do this like this, it might be a bit better. Okay, I have one cup in my hand. I have 5 people coming to visit me. They don't have a cup, but they need a cup to drink. Mathematically, I can give them all a cup. I just take this cup and I plus 4 cups. Now I sit with 5 cups. Mathematically, I just proved I have 5 cups for the people to come. Reality, I'm still sitting with 1 cup. Did the maths now prove I have 5 cups? Or did it just prove mathematically that there's 5 cups? I'll leave that to you. Okay, back to where we wanted to be. So easy to go and show the things to be pseudoscientific. CFI is the official provider of the Business Intelligence and Data Analyst (BIDA) certification program designed to transform anyone into a world-class financial analyst. That's just related readings. Okay. Oh. Okay, we wanted to get back to here. Is science based on evidence? Connections to nature of science. Science knowledge is based on empirical evidence. Remember this, guys, empirical evidence, it's got no bias whatsoever. It either proves or disproves, because empirical evidence means fact. It's falsifiable. Once it is gone through the process and it is either disproven or validated, it means it is proven if validated. Okay, sorry, I'm out of breath again. In primary school, scientists look for patterns and order when making observations about the world. Okay? Elementary school, science findings are based on recognizing patterns. Science uses tools and technologies to make accurate measurements and observations. Middle school, science knowledge is based upon logical and conceptual connections between evidence and explanation. No connection, sorry, there's no correlation, it's simply cause and effect. Science disciplines share common rules of obtaining and evaluating empirical evidence. High school, science knowledge is based on empirical evidence. Science disciplines share common rules of evidence used to evaluate explanations about the natural system. Science includes the process of coordinating patterns and evidence with current theory. That alone is pseudoscientific, because theory comes after science hypotheses, after it's been validated. A lot of people get confused with scientific theory and scientific hypotheses. Hence why we sit in the world we do today, where people think gravity is a proven scientific theory and a natural law. Gravity is not a natural law, and it's definitely not a theory. Gravity is the begging the question fallacy, because you just see things falling, and hence you have a belief that everything has to be falling to the center of maths. You have gravity and saying, oh, I see something fall, therefore law of nature, things fall. Yeah, but we can scientifically validate things with relative density, where we can actually take it, make an hypothesis, and test it over and over and see the same result. Yeah, gravity is 100% law, says Professor Bell. No, it is not 100% law, Professor Bell, because gravity is not even proven. It cannot be decided what it is. What is gravity, Professor Bell? Please tell us what gravity is. Excuse me again. Als ek moet nog een keer opstaan om julle te skree of te sê, slaap. Dis baie laat. Slaap. Slaap. Dis baie laat. Slaap dan, asseblief, dis baie laat. Sorry, I'm back. Has he said anything? Professor Phil Bell, remember I asked you what is gravity? Still haven't had anything back from him yet. While we wait for Professor Phil Bell to tell me what gravity is, we'll move on. Because the fact that they cannot even say what gravity is tells you it's not a law. Yeah. Okay, that's that stuff. Oh, we've gone through all of this. Okay, let's see. Other standards that use a connection in the science and science. Kindergarten, independent relationships of ecosystems, animals, plants, and their environment with the climate. First grade, structure, function, information processing. Second grade, independent relationships in ecosystems. Third grade, forces and interactions. Inheritance to variation of traits. With how you need to have a force to have an interaction. You know what your gravity doesn't have? It doesn't have a force, so it cannot have an interaction, because you guys say gravity is not a force, yet it accelerates things. How can something that's not a force cause an acceleration? I can usually tell you, it doesn't. Okay. See, the polls have switched for 100 views. Based on the debates, is the globe a pseudoscientific model? Yes, 51%. No, 49%. Okay, Professor Phil Bell has answered, not telling me what gravity is yet. He's just said a law is a phenomena that works every time. Professor Phil Bell, I asked you a specific question. What is gravity? What is gravity? Okay, let's go on. Waves, and information. What the hell? What's that supposed to mean? Waves, and information. Okay, middle school, chemical reactions, that's a good one. Force and interactions, energy, waves and electromagnetic radiation, matter and energy in organisms and ecosystems, natural selection and adaptation. Natural selection, that is also pseudoscientific, just have to point that out to you guys, because evolution is not scientific. It's a bias relief system. And then Earth systems, how is Earth systems actually scientific? Weather and climate, yeah, to a certain extent, but how are you going to actually do any IV and things with large weather? But you can sort of figure it out. Okay, that's quite interesting. Ooh, forget what you read. Science can't prove anything. The conversation. Do scientists have a language problem? I don't know how. If you say an IV and a DV and a no, you know, it's not, you don't really have to have a language problem. Professor Phil Bell, have you come up with what gravity is yet? It's quite an easy question if it's supposed to be a law of nature. I mean, like, thermodynamics is a law of nature. Entropy is a law of nature, you know. We can describe it. We can tell you what happens. Raichi, no one knows what gravity is on the helios anymore. Exactly, Raichi, that's why it keeps changing. Okay, Professor Phil Bell, gravity is short for gravitational acceleration. So, Professor Phil Bell, let me get this right. You're saying gravity means gravitational acceleration. What is gravitational acceleration? As far as we know, gravity is not a force, so it cannot cause an acceleration, can it? Because you require force to have an acceleration. Gravitational acceleration is a law. Yes, in your pseudo-scientific worldview. In reality, it's not. Sorry, Phil. This is exactly what we're trying to point out tonight. Your whole globe, everything, is pseudo-scientific. It's not reality. It's a religious system. Heliocentrism is a religion, and you fell for it hook, line, and sinker. Justin Franks, not knowing how it works, not able to observe or making predictions regarding it. Let's read it again. Not knowing how it works equals not able to observe nor making predictions regarding it. It's like he's trying to add on someone. Sorry, Justin, it's not our fault if you don't get what science is. I've tried to explain it as simple as I could. Let's move on to this. Not equals, okay, whatever. Does science have a language problem? Scientists? No. Do policymakers have hearing issues? It would certainly seem so. So in other words, you're saying scientists are biased if you actually putting them to policy, if you evaluate them with policies, then you are saying scientists have biases and therefore it's not scientific. Because science, as far as I know, has got no place for opinions or religion. Often scientists and the public are in fact communicating, but they're talking right past one another. So what's going on? Words, words, words. It's imperative scientists do a better job communicating the meaning of words they choose. Remember, Craig, when I said words have meanings that you just wanted to throw away because you don't want the definitions of words to be heard? Yeah. We're still waiting for that scientific dictionary to come out, because as far as I know, the word validate means the same as the word validate in science. The word evidence is the same word for evidence in science. It's all over the same meaning. That's why it's called a definition. I don't mean jargon. I mean basing words that mean one thing in science circles and another in the wider world. Let's take climate change debate and focus on few scientific words in context. This is false though, like I was just explaining to Craig. Definition stays a definition. Just because someone tries to cite, how can I put it? Oh no, because it's science, that's not the definition. That's just them ignoring what a definition of a word is. So that's them being biased. Yeah. Words can have multiple definitions. Just because you have zero in on one definition doesn't mean it is correct for that context. Is that so, Justin? Which words have multiple definitions? Please bring those ones up for me, Justin. I'll be very, very happy to look through that. Okay, John Watson. Q. What is gravity? Answer. I don't know. Next question. Neil deGrasse Tyson. How can you have a law about something you can't provide answers to at full bell? Exactly. A natural law can be explained. Hence entropy. It's a natural law. You can still explain the how can I put it, the phenomena happening. It's a law. You don't really know why, but it's there. You can explain it. Gravitational acceleration, you cannot explain it. You simply saying mass attracts mass because of a force, and then in the same sentence you say, but hang on, gravity is not a force because of a fourth dimension we cannot go to. That is also getting debunked now with quantum mechanics, which is also moving on to entropic gravity now. How much time do you have to change something that's already been validated in science? Justin Franks, words can only have one definition now. Flatzoid has determined. No, Justin Franks, that's what definition means. It's simply a word has meaning. If you're saying there's now different definitions, you have to provide evidence for those different definitions, because I can go to countless and countless of dictionaries and they're going to have the same meanings for the same words. That's why it's called a definition. It's explaining the word associated. Understand? Yeah. Mercury debunks Newton's laws. Just saying, yeah. Even the retrograde motions and stuff debunks them. They got so much holes in their model they don't understand what's going on. Okay, theory. Climate change is just a theory. Yeah, actually, it's just a belief. It's not even a theory. It's a colloquial theory. Let's put it that way. In science, effectively, all ideas are just theories. No, that's false. Science is not just a theory. Scientific theory comes after scientific validation. So what's this? This is from theconversation.com. Scientists often use concepts from the philosophy of science to make some semantic distinctions between laws, theories, hypotheses, and like. So in other words, you are just saying science has now opinions, which you're just saying pseudoscience. Because science doesn't care about your philosophies. So when science talks about law of nature, he or she is referring only to a standard observation given some strict parameters, not an absolute requirement. A basic principle in science is that any law, theory, or otherwise can be disproven if new facts or evidence are presented. Then it's not science. If you have an hypothesis and you have tested the hypothesis and you have validated it or disproven it, you have simply proven A or B, or disproven A or B, one or the other. There's no in between. It's A or it's B. There's no such thing that you can go and present new facts now that disprove it. You just simply invalidating a new hypothesis. You're creating a new hypothesis with new information. Just because you go and have new information with something else does not invalidate the already validated hypothesis. The same as I go into the sun and I get sunburned. Therefore the sun, I get sunburn. IV, sun causes sunburn. When I go outside, the sun causes sunburn. Yes, it's going to stay true because I'm always going to get sunburned if I'm in the sun. If I have a new hypothesis with new information, the UV rays is what causes sunburn. I make a new hypothesis, UV rays cause sunburn. Does that now invalidate that the sun doesn't burn me? No, it stays valid because I can still hold that hypothesis in my hand. I can go in the sun and I get sunburned. Does that now mean it's invalidated? No. It means that hypothesis is still valid because my IV and my DV is proven. It's shown to be true. It's very simple stuff. Okay, let's go. It cannot be somehow disproven by an experiment. A basic principle in science, law, theory, otherwise disproven, in fact or evidence presented. If it cannot somehow be disproven by experiment, then it is not something. 100% agree with that. If it cannot be disproven, that's why you have a hypothesis and you have experiment. That's why you give the people the hypothesis to do the experiment afterwards, after you got the analysis and data and stuff, so they can validate it again. Now obviously it's going to go through a whole rigmarole. A lot of people are going to do it and they're going to say, hey, I've come to the same conclusion because I do the same observation. It's repeatable, it's testable. Hence, it has gone through trying to be disproven. We have proven that it is true. Your cause has been validated. AKA fact, evidence, empirically proven. Very easy. Take for example the universal law of gravitation. Here we go, Professor Bell. This law describes the motion of heavenly bodies. Does it now? And how we stay firmly planted on the ground. What is the problem we see here already, guys? Take for example the universal law of gravitation. Remember, this is not just decided it's a universal law of gravitation, but why is it now? The law describes the motion of heavenly bodies, aka the planets and whatever in the sky, and how we stay firmly planted on the ground. I'm standing on the ground. Thank you, universal law of gravitation. Does that not sound kind of biased to you? Doesn't it sound like you're begging the question? Doesn't that sound kind of correlative based, that I stand on the ground, I have a belief system that I need something to hold me to the ground because I see a thing fall, therefore law of gravitation? 100%. Owen, I mean, you're Flatzoid, you're kicking in open goals now. Thank you, Owen. Let's see. If gravity is pulling gas down, then how do clouds form? Eli, asseblief. Like I said, guys, I'm not 100% here tonight, but I am here. I am trying. Okay, but this law is in fact not always right. Ooh, then it's not a law, is it, guys? If it's a universal law, then it always has to stand true. It always has to be right. It just captures what we usually observe. I think that makes it plain and simple. The gravitational law is not a law. Professor Fulbell, have you come up with what gravity is yet? Thanks, Arwen. Yes, I tried my best to be all fair. Craig was actually very nice in the background afterwards and before the debate, so I give that to Craig. Very nice guy to talk to that. But when it comes to this, yeah, very, very, how can I put it, easy to disprove it because it's all based on pseudoscience. Although I do get a lot of his trolls coming to my channel saying, he destroyed you, which is really funny, but that's how I do it. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Let's see. Number 2, proof. We can't prove humans are causing climate change. No shit, Sherlock. Because that is a colloquial theory. That's not scientific. That's correlative. When people ask for proof, they generally just mean evidence. Evidence means proof, guys. Just remember. Scientists may have lots of evidence. Remember, evidence either supports or disproves. So if you have evidence that supports it, that means it's proven. You will never claim to have proof because proof does not exist in science. But remember, we're reading a pseudo-scientific paper here, already been showing this. Proof has a technical meaning that only applies in mathematics. And yet people want to say mathematics is scientific. Ouch. Oh, and yeah, but that's what they do. They have to rumpus. They can't let the actual argument come through. That's why I tried to obfuscate so much times when I was trying to get something through. But that's more the baller tactic. Okay. So proof is technical meaning, much like all we can do in science is collect evidence, lots of it, much the way we do in testing gravitational theory. You guys just said gravitational theory is not proven, so yeah, which obviously is not proven. You guys just debunked your own model, yeah? Because remember, all your theories hinge on gravitational theory, which you're just telling me doesn't really actually hold true. Very odd, throwing your own theory under the bus, your own religion. Raichi 50. Gravity is a four-dimensional differential manifold on which a metric tensor is imposed, which solves Einstein's field equations, and the metric tensor gives rise to geodesic and with no other force. Exactly. Applied, they move along the geodesic described by the metric. Just math. Just like my cup can disprove their whole globe model. Maths, which your globe is based upon, is debunked by reality. Okay, so uncertainty. Even proponents of human-induced climate change admit uncertainty. The winning formula: everything's a theory, proof doesn't exist, nothing is certain. That kind of sounds like a chanting mantra to me that says, we have pseudoscience, so we don't want things to be proven, because if it's proven, it goes against our belief system. Because that's what it is. If someone says science doesn't prove things, it's because they have a bias. They don't want something to be proven because then they care if it's proved or not. That's it. If you find someone like us that says science does prove things, you don't have a bias. You don't care because if it proves it, it proves it. Full stop. Let that sink in, guys. Ooh-wee. Sorry, I'm getting very hot here now. Hope I'm making sense to you guys. Does anybody want to come in and chat a bit on Discord? I don't think I'm going to go on much longer though, maybe another half an hour. Because I am not feeling too kosher. I'm going to work tomorrow at least, so. But yeah. But the poll's still 50-50. This is actually brilliant. 107 votes. Based on the debate, is the globe pseudoscientific model? Yes 50% and no 50%. If you guys haven't already, please just hit that like button and share. as it does help to get the show out to further audience. Because I think this is a very important thing that people need to start getting to see. Because do you think the guys from the Globe side ever get to see what is actually presented on the side properly? I don't think so. I think a lot of it gets pushed under the rug, that they don't actually get to see the side. They just keeping to their bias and keeping away this type of argument for a reason. Let's see, Lumpy Gas and Vacuum. As Globers, how many times do you have to deny your model to keep your model? That's true. How many citations does the Globe bring up that actually throw their own Globe under the bus, but then still claim, no, that's how it works. That's how it works. But yeah. Edu, not rap. Learn and FE in the same senses is your problem. Ooh, what an add-on. That's brilliant argument, Edu. Add-on because you are just too inept to understand an argument. Really great. They have to, exactly. I got it from Brian's Green Law. Globers can't argue. They can't argue, that's why they have to add hom and just say nah. No, they don't know how it works. I 100% agree with you. If they didn't know how it works, they would be able to explain it to us. Exactly, they will try and shame you for not understanding. So, I don't know what else we can actually talk about. That's practically the recap of the whole debate, because we didn't get anywhere really with those 3 hours, because it was me trying to explain these very basic fundamentals to you. Anytime, Owen. It's good to have you on the team. Edu, not rap, refusing to understand. Do you want to come onto Discord and chat, Edu, or Skype or anything? We can have a discussion. Then you can explain to me what I don't understand. How's that sound? Edu? Do you want to come on? Katie Quirk, how have you had 100 takes in the poll with only 6 people watching? Katie, maybe because you don't understand, there were more people in here before and people leave and new one come in. Maybe that's why? Yeah. I can try and guild it, but the thing is I haven't set gilded up yet to my what's the name yet. I can try quickly set it up somehow. Woo-wee. See if you can hop onto gilded quickly, and then we can try and chat that way. Join voice. Can you guys hear me? Hello. Turn on. How's it sounding? Hello. Okay, it shows me working out. So if you can get onto Gilded, Arwen, or anybody, that'd be great. So yeah, you can see if it works this way. So if you've ever got Gilded or Discord or Skype, you're more than welcome to come in and we can have a little discussion for another half an hour or something. Because I'm really feeling not too great right now. Katie works. Justin Franks, okay, fair enough. Just in Gilded, I'm in my maybe I can share it quickly. Where do I share this thing anyway? I'm still new to Gilded, guys, sorry about that. Can I invite? How do I invite friends? Michael Kahn, okay, add friend requests, confirm. Oh, Brendan Debates is on my Gilded. Oh wow. Events, no, not events. Profile? No. Service?
Yo, Flatzoid.
How's it going?
Can you hear me?
Are you in Discord?
God.
Yeah, I'm in Discord. I'm getting out Gilded because it's
I can hear my voice repeating some. Hold on, my telly. Hold on, 2 seconds.
Are you kind of breaking up?
Yeah, I'm gonna do something. Can you? Are you in?
We can hear your background, the what's name all background.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It's off now. It's off now.
Okay, I'm just gonna try and send a link from Gilded to Arwen. I'm just trying to find out where. Man.
Yeah.
Sorry, Arwen, I am trying to look for a. Can you believe I don't know how to send a damn link? Invite. There we go. Okay. Copy. This is the Gilded link, guys. There we go. Let's hope we can play it through like this and work. So, PJ, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I think, I just want to say I think you're doing brilliantly, especially for being still absolutely fantastic.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. I hope I got my point across quite clear, because this is actually what I wanted to get across with FTFE on the debate, but it was just too difficult.
I think it's fantastic. And what I've got, my missus called a couple of times, so I missed a little bit from the wife. Everything's been great. I think it's been good. You've got a few of the haters in chat.
I always got haters.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, always got haters in chat, so that's never going to change. Hey, Owen, welcome to Gilded. Let's test it out. Yeah, Freeman.
Hello.
Ah, there we go. Can everybody hear Owen?
I can hear Owen, yeah.
Hello?
Yes, Owen.
I'm kind of repeating on myself.
Feedback.
You're getting feedback?
Yeah,
there
but
any
feedback.
feedback
It must
or
be
not?
coming. I'm on Discord. I was on Gilded. It might be because of that.
Would you be able to go on Gilded maybe, PJ, or?
I haven't got it.
I'm just
I've never even
asking,
heard
is
of it.
there
I'm
any
working on a
feedback?
phone. Can I download it to my phone tonight?
Oh, sorry, both of you, it's coming. Okay, Arwen, I think Gilded's not going to work tonight because it's giving echoing from your side. Arwen? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can't hear Owen. No.
Yeah. I think he's muted
I
himself.
hear me.
Yeah, I
How
can hear
about
you.
now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello,
Owen.
hello.
Hello, everything's sharp on my side now.
There we go.
No more feedback?
No more feedback now.
All right, excellent.
I'm hearing it a little bit, but don't worry. I can deal with it.
That's not mine because I have headphones on now.
Yeah. So it's probably just from.
First time you've ever heard my voice, Owen, huh?
I don't know. Who am I talking to?
PJ.
Oh, PG Cruikshank.
Yes. How you doing, Owen? You good?
Oh. Hey, good to talk to you.
Absolutely fantastic. I think it's been a great show.
I'm just now tuning in, like in the last 10 minutes, so.
Yeah, well, the missus called me a couple of times during the show, so I missed a little bit. But from what I've seen, it went well. Apart from the haters in chat, but you always get, you know yourself. I mean, you're in the chat.
I think I'm going to have to. I'll try tomorrow something before I have a live show again. Try and get the Gilded actually set up in OBS properly.
I'll download it. I'll download it also and on my phone because I'm working off the phone. I'll download it also and see if I can get it all hooked up on that.
Awesome. Yeah, because I'm going to try and get it set up on this because there's a lot of people that are on Discord still. That's why I'm still on Discord because a lot of people still prefer Discord.
It's only today I started hearing about Gilded. You know, it was I had it an hour too earlier. Now I've heard it new. So I'll download it.
Yeah.
I mean, Discord is the old and the familiar, but it's also the old and rusty. And roboting like nothing you've ever seen.
It's not brilliant. It's not brilliant on the phone. I need to get another device, like a tablet or a laptop or something, because the phone's no good. When you're trying to do Discord and YouTube at the same time, it doesn't help, you know?
It still works though.
It does its job for now, but yeah, I will get another device. It'll make it a little bit easier to work with.
Ugh. So Owen, what are your thoughts on the debate?
Well, personally, I kind of think that you're wasting your time on this, but you seem to really like digging into these anti-flat earthers, and yeah, who am I to like hold you back, you know? So I mean, I am pretty impressed in how you're dealing with it, and you are definitely like using the QE strategy. Just let them open their mouths and let them do all the work for you, you know? So you're definitely achieving that. I have to give you that. But yeah, it's a chore sitting through just through them. I mean, I avoid them for a purpose, you know?
I do enjoy it. I mean, like I said, I haven't had a debate in such a long time. And I mean, like I said, I have launched my debate nights now on my channel. So if people do want to challenge debate me, I'm not just gonna say put it down. I'll debate them. Why not? But I would definitely love to see more debates coming on. I mean, you saw the debate between Sean Hawkins and Brian Leak. I think it went quite well, although a bit few technical issues, but they got their arguments out.
Well, it's something. I mean, it's not like the most riveting of matches or anything, but
But
I mean, yeah, you're doing this, and I don't know. Maybe I'll join once or twice or something, and even engage in some debate. As long as people aren't gonna whine constantly about math or something, because that's just gonna make me
yeah,
like,
but that's what I said.
go away.
But that's why I say I'm trying to get back to set, because the debates today, if you guys see that there's not actually a proper debate structure. Look at the debate with me and FTFE, that we didn't put a structure up, so there wasn't really a debate. It was more of a I say, you say type of thing. So we're trying to talk over each other to get our points out. But if you have
colloquial debate.
Yeah, if we have a debate with a proper structure, like it's supposed to be, with 10-minute openings and 5-minute rebuttals, 5 minutes variable rebuttals, and just 20-minute dialogue, then you have closing
statements. Yeah, but then you need to separate the referee, right? So otherwise, you can't be a participant and a referee at the same time for an actual debate.
That's why there wasn't already a structure with FTFE, because there was no moderator.
It was very quick. It was very quickly put together, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, because he wanted to do it, and I was like, they wanted me to debate already on the night that Sean Hawkins and them were set up. And I said, so I can't tonight because they're already booked for them. So then I said, okay, how about Saturday?
Oh, sorry.
Now,
yeah, because he was always in the comments saying you were afraid to debate him. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Well, I think you did well. You did well on that debate. You did well not to lose your head, because I don't like the guy.
Look, I do get misrepresented a lot in things. That's why I definitely put tonight's thing up.
He got you in a couple of topics, didn't you? But I still think overall, no winners. You know, what I mean, there's no winners. It's about the truth, isn't it? Not about winning, it's about the truth, getting out of that. But overall, I think you came on top. You know what I mean?
No, that's what I said. Debating is not about winning or losing. It's you getting your argument across to the audience.
Exactly.
And that's why I had to set a few things straight tonight with his so-called T hypothesis, and he's looking at the stars and whatever, and also with the correlation, because remember when I said it's not correlation, and then I went to the definition, and they're like, oh, but look, see, science is correlative. But it's not correlative. That's why I tried to explain it tonight, because I know that people won't wait till the end of the debate to watch my end statement where I'm talking about it. So that's what I said. Let me show it tonight properly, to explain it properly, that science is not correlation, it's causation. And if someone's going to say it's correlative, then they don't know what science is. Then they're pushing pseudoscience.
Exactly. And the poll started off very one-sided, but it kind of met in the middle, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did start very one-sided at the beginning, but you know, it kind of came to the middle there.
Yeah, but I mean, how much guys were in there just coming just to vote? I mean, we had like soccer camp. Just that they can vote.
Yeah, exactly.
They were just there to defend their pimp, you know. all these sock people. They're all just in there like a lost cause, like a lost child, like spiritual orphans, and they're just being rounded up by these people that are just putting them to task.
They'll get together. They'll get together and form a cult eventually.
Well, that's exactly what it is. It's a religion, so.
Yeah, exactly. Like just like evolution believers with the religion, you know, heliocentric model and all that. It's pretty much I remember when I went, there was nothingness worship, wasn't it? It was void worship or something.
Yeah.
Worship of nothingness.
Yeah, I mean, when you try and explain to them it's a religion, they just tell you, nuh-uh, nuh-uh, and then you show them the background roots
Right,
of it, and they still tell you, nuh-uh.
Nah.
Worship of the void,
Yeah.
right? Total solipsistic
Yeah,
reversal.
that's it. That's it. Worship of the void.
What's this guy
That
saying?
was last year. You had a show about that last year. Mm.
I remember that, yeah. But it's what
Yeah, it was a good show.
That's
It
what
was
it
a
is.
good show.
It's just a reversed world, right? It's all based on this reversed world spiritual construction. And
Yep.
weirdly enough, that just keeps working. On all these levels.
Exactly.
It keeps people that engage compartmentalized and sedated against reality.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It always like they might usually be empty mind altered or something, you know. That's what it's like. They're in bondage, absolutely bondage.
Yeah, I'm sticking Owen's channel in the chat if you guys haven't already, which I can't believe you haven't. Please do go subscribe to Owen.
Done.
Yeah, thanks for that.
So yeah,
Right, guys.
There's early bird show
I'm out. I've got to call
every day.
Mrs. before she gets too drunk. And say good night to her.
okay.
Well, say good night to you guys. Oh, cheers.
Cheers, man. Thanks for coming in, PJ.
Blessed. No problems, no
Wait,
problems.
Right, yeah, good to talk to you, man. I'll see you.
Yeah, till Wednesday, man.
And you, man. Good bless, Aaron. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye, dude. Bye. Yeah, so
Later.
do your shout out, dude. Your
Yeah, where are you gonna round out? Should I leave?
no, you guys can talk. Oh, wait, now it's just me and you though. But yeah, do your plug for your channel, because there might be some people that's listening that have never heard of you.
All right. Well, that would be weird, but yeah. My name is Arwin. It's actually my middle name. It's really my name, right? It's not something, some kind of like actor name that I came up with. No, it's actually like in my name, in my passport, right? And yeah, I have a Flat Earth Early Bird show. Been doing this for quite a few years, every day. I try to be on time, but I'm usually a little late. I try not to be like too late. But you know, doing it every day, and it's been interesting. It's been very interesting. An evolution of just how to do a show when you have to do it every day, right? It reminds me of like tactics of like at school, kindergartens. Like you have to always find some way to entertain everybody, right? Whoever you're dealing with. So you have to create a formula to just keep going, and if it has to change around to keep it going, then you have to change it around. And I've been like really trying to figure out like how to do this, and well, right now I'm ending up with a pretty good formula. I think it's just like a workshop. People are expected to uphold serious standards in how they do things and how they behave,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's working out great, I think. And that way, good ideas are kept cohesive and spread around, and it's like it starts to work naturally like a thing. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, sometimes you have very chilled discussions, and sometimes you get heated discussions, but it's really cool because you take things from different perspectives, and that's what's nice. It's something in there for everybody.
Right, and I have my ups and downs. You know, sometimes I do great, and then it's like my mind can take me in all kinds of directions, and like suddenly the cohesion is like incredible, and all these connections are made. And other times I just feel really freaking shitty, and then it's all about just how do I prevent from this thing escalating and just get through it. Because I have ups and downs. It's just what happens.
Yeah, but I mean, you understand that YouTube is kind of a roller coaster ride, especially for someone that does it full time. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
I've
I
heard
mean,
of
there's
people-
always a challenge, and it's interesting just how people respond to somebody doing something like that. Just an everyday show, just them. I mean, it brings in a certain level of, what do you call that? Certain density of spirit that it's
Yeah.
just like taking note of that, and that's interesting.
No, definitely. But yeah, guys, if you haven't already, do go subscribe to Owen. I see your subs are growing a bit again. It's good.
Yeah, quite a bit actually.
It's quite good.
Went up like 50 or something in the last 2 months. So
That's great. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
remember how long it took you to get to 2K.
yeah,
Even to me, it's like, yes,
yeah, and
took
then the
forever.
1K, of course, with the infamous rant and all that. But yeah, my subs grow slowly, and it's okay. You know, as long as just the message spreads and people that follow me actually can connect and really get something out of it. I mean, that's the most important part for me.
Yeah, that's
People
steady.
actually get something out of it.
That's the whole thing. You want the people to get the argument that you're presenting. So
Right, the insight, the sympathy, the oversight of like the times or the situation, or just enlightenment, like any type of insight from an honest perspective. And if you just keep that up, then eventually like that'll form like this whole almost like 3D printed thing that's just become really reliable in how to determine what's going on.
yeah.
Anyway, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you too, man. Sorry, I think I'm also gonna go say goodnight because I'm not feeling too great right now. But
All right.
Good to see you on.
Yeah, take care, and you know, good rest helps.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to rest a bit now. These last 2 days, that's all I've been doing is just sleeping. I haven't slept so much in.
Oh, really?
I haven't slept this much in easily years. Yeah.
All
I'm
right. Are you drinking enough water?
Yeah, a lot of electrolytes and water, and I even got a B17 shot
Okay,
today,
okay, good.
so that helped a bit.
All right, yeah, take it easy, man, and yeah, thanks for all these debates, and be careful though, you know, with going head on with these crazy people because they will spiritually attack you, right?
Yeah,
And you won't even it's just being exposed to these types of people, it puts a certain level of pressure on you that's really invasive, right? And it will influence your metabolism and what you're dealing with. I mean, it can literally make you sick just from the stress. So be careful with
at
that.
least I don't stress
Taking
about them.
on too much.
This is simply because my wife had it. At the moment where we are in Tapazumi, there's a stomach bug going around, and my wife was sick for the last few
really?
days. And I thought it just left me, and all of a sudden, after that debate, 4 o'clock the next morning, it floored me. I was like, I didn't know what was going on, and that's why I was like, no, I couldn't.
Okay, so it's acute.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I wish I could say it was. I wish I could say it was the anti-flat Earth fault. but I don't.
Well, they make me sick, you know, literally. So
But the thing is, I don't take anything.
every time I see somebody like, oh, you just went on with a debate with these guys for like 2 hours, and then you're sick. Oh, really? Well, that's a pretty strong correlation, if you ask me.
Oh, correlation.
But I guess you have another connection there. So
Yeah. Well, we'll test it out the next debate, eh? Then we'll know what's going on.
yeah, all right. Yeah, but good fortune with these exploits. I'm really liking it. So keep it up.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm really trying to get somewhere. But I mean, it's with the help of all the supporters. Where would we be without the supporters of the shows? So thank you, Owen. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I'm definitely going to say night right now because, wow, I'm not feeling too great. But it was good seeing you guys. Thank you all for coming. Please just don't forget to hit that like button and share. If you want to, remember Wednesday's going to be the next live debate, hopefully. But not live debate, just a live show. It'll be Wednesday night. It's Discord Wednesday, so then you guys can come and chat. It'll be great. And if you guys are interested in to debate, just hit me up and we can organize a debate for you guys, because there's no scheduled debates at this moment. And I would like to try and keep a debate a week at least. So yeah, if you guys are interested, if you're just new into it and you just want to try and wet your feet a little bit, see if I can, you've never been in a debate and you want to see if you can, how you would do, let me know. I mean, otherwise I can always just do another flat earther debates himself kind of thing. But yeah, thanks everybody for coming. Don't forget, you guys are the lifeblood of this channel. Without you guys' support, we wouldn't get anywhere. Thank you much for all you guys have done. Thank you for all your support. You guys rock. Thank you for all my Patreon supporters, my members, my people that give me the super chats. I don't think I saw any super chats tonight. You guys all rock. Really, really do appreciate you guys. Pray many blessings upon you guys. God bless. Cheers, guys.